original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. 5 somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you all are enjoying your Tuesday. Sorry for the late start today. Honestly, woke up late. I overslept. There it is. There's the honesty. You know what I'm saying? The truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. And I got to be honest. I overslept. Slept right through my alarm. It just is what it is. It happens from time to time. You know how it is. You know, you work hard. You put in the work. The alarm goes off. You think it's the alarm for because I always have I got 3 alarms that go off in a certain amount of times. And for some odd reason, the first one that I heard was the third one, if that makes any sense. So those things do happen. So, I got my coffee out. I'm ready to go. And there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, here's the thing. Here it is. I'm riding solo today. I'm flying solo again, and it's okay. Not like I haven't done this before, you know what I mean? And I had to cut the music because I just saw somebody say something. The thing is here it is. Lindy Lau said, "Hey, Pascal, can you please cover the Kathleen Moore case too? Please, it's a brain twister." Now, here's the thing. I've been watching that, okay? I've been looking over that quite a bit. I saw the breaking news that happened yesterday in regards to the boyfriend getting arrested. They found blood in the dumpster, like her clothing and all that stuff covered in blood and all that. And it's quite an interesting story. And I was really debating if I should do it or not because he was already detained. He was already arrested. Because I was about to do a story yesterday as a pop-up covering Kathleen Moore. And then all of a sudden, they have ruled it a homicide. They found bloody clothing in a landfill. Like I said, crazy story, terrible story. But I was kind of like, well, do people still want to hear my take on it if they've already basically arrested and detained the boyfriend, who most likely, all roads, breadcrumbs, fingers, all attention is going down the road towards him guilty, right? But there's still no body. Yes, Teresa Pulger, sorry. You're right. There's still no body. So I've been on the fence about covering that story because I'm like, okay, is it a developing story or is it still something that would be of interest to y'all? So literally this morning, I was debating, I was juggling. And I was sitting there going, do I do Kathleen Moore or no? I will cover Kathleen Moore tonight. Okay. There will be a show tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I appreciate Linda, sorry. Excuse me. I appreciate Linda for coming out and then bringing it up. And I will cover it tonight. Okay. Promise you that will be, unless something else is breaking, unless something huge is breaking before my 7 p.m. show, I will talk about it tonight. I have been covering it, I've been watching it and reading it and knowing what's been going on. And yes, it is not a great story. It's very, very sad. But one thing I will say is that, she is a person of color. She is a woman of color. She's a Black woman. And everybody, at least on Twitter and other forums, were really taking this extremely seriously, as serious as a Gabby Petito case. A lot of people have been heavily invested in that story, and it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible to hear. It's absolutely terrible to hear that this kind of thing happened to someone, to any individual. But the fact that they have taken it seriously is, people who are taking this case very seriously, is feels like we're going down the right road now, right? That every missing person matters instead of it just being one specific story. We're getting multiple different stories. Okay. I got a super chat here. Queen Kimberly, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. She says, good morning, Pascal and our amazing fam. Good morning to you too. Hopefully you're having a good one. Okay. And we, of course, got to get into the stories, but here it is. Do not forget to hit that like button down below. You know the procedure. Hit that like button down below and most definitely crush that subscribe button. It'd be really great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Okay. So, apologies for the late show. Okay. For the late stream this morning. I know you guys are still, maybe you guys are still waiting for to drink your coffee with me while you're watching this show. You're sipping on your cup of joe. You know what I mean? Your caffeinated drinks. Some of y'all are watching this at night, so maybe you're drinking your nightcap, whatever. But I apologize for being late. But I appreciate y'all being so patient and understanding. Now, so there are some more information. There's some more stories. There are some real stories going on here around this high school, Oxford High. Now, this is strange, y'all. There's some strange stuff that's been going on. We need to look into it. We need to talk about it. This is some developing news revolving around the shooting that happened last week. I mean, it's a week ago today when this shooting took place. But there's one story here that is just so unbelievably strange to me. And it goes a little something like this. AG, okay, the Attorney General, wanted to do a deep dive, wanted to go and do a private investigation, a review over the events that led into and the shooting itself. All events that led up to the event of the shooting, the horrific, horrifying, jaw-dropping, unspeakable thing that happened last week, literally 7 days ago today. The Attorney General wanted to do a private review of the shooting. And guess what? School district declined the offer to review the Oxford shooting. Strange, right? I'm just going to let that sink in for a little bit. School district said, hail to the gnaw to the Attorney General so that they can do so that she can do her due diligence. Dana Nessel is the Michigan Attorney General. She wanted to do her due diligence and see what went down. See all the events that led up to the event and all the stuff that happened inside the event. Basically, all the gruesome and gritty details. And the high school is saying no. Mims. Make that make sense, y'all. So here we go. We got an article. We got a couple news clips to check out as well. So let's get into it, okay? Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel said Monday night that school officials have rejected her offer to review the shooting at Oxford High School last week that left 4 students dead and injured 7 other people. Nessel, the state's top law enforcement official, let me repeat that again. The state's top law enforcement official communicated her offer to Oxford Community School District via email Saturday after Superintendent Tim Throne requested a third-party review of the incident and the events leading up to it. She says this, I am extremely disappointed. Surprised? I am extremely disappointed that the school district chose to decline my offer to devote the full resources of the Department of Attorney General to review the events leading up to and on November 30th, she said in a statement. This tragedy demands a united effort from all of us who serve the Oxford community. Now, here's the thing. Here's the ting, though. Okay, here's the ting. Why would they say no? Like, I still have the thing highlighted because that's the most important part right here. The state's top law enforcement official just got blocked, just got denied by a high school that just dealt with an extremely tragic, horrific event. And everybody wants to know what really went down. Now, yesterday we went through the superintendent's statement, right? We read through his state. Well, we didn't read the whole thing, but we read the meat. Okay, not a whole lot of the potatoes, but the meat of that statement. Okay, and the most important part of it was what they did, what happened in the guidance counselor's office when Ethan Crumbley walked in that piece, yo. And it was unbelievable. We sat on that for a good 20, 30 minutes talking about that, right? Unbelievable that you have a written statement, sure. But for a fact there's security cam footage. For a fact there's footage everywhere. Shoot, they have that. Kids were filming their own experiences. They were using their cell phones and they were filming and documenting the experience being behind closed doors, scared for their lives. We even saw one of those videos, remember? Last week, we saw a video where it was Ethan trying to impersonate a cop, basically saying, "Yeah, come on out, bro." And then bro was the tell sign. They're like, F this, we're jumping out the window, right? So there's footage out here, y'all. There's more than enough. And there's also other accounts. There's other people out here that are going to tell them, if they do their own specific deep dive, a detailed deep dive, they're going to look into and hear more stories from other people. Like that young black kid, I forgot his name, but the young teen that was interviewed that we saw on the day after the shooting happened, right? They were literally sitting, he literally said, "I had a bad feeling. There were signs way before this that bad things were happening." Remember the deer head? It sounds ridiculous and I don't mean to chuckle like that, but do you remember the deer head that happened only a few days before that? Before the shooting? So there's so many things that are going up. And Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, who is the state's top law enforcement official, is putting out a statement saying, "I'm extremely disappointed that the school district did not choose the right choice, that they declined for her and her team, probably the best of the best, creme de la creme, okay, to deep dive into this thing so they can find out what really is going on." Something's fishy here, y'all. Something strange is afoot. That doesn't make sense, but we're going to run with it, with what I just said. Something strange is afoot. Don't you think that's strange? Wouldn't you think that every high school, any high school that's dealing with something that's so unbelievable would do everything they can to cooperate so that they can get full transparency, give full transparency not only just to the state's top law enforcement official, but to the rest of the world and to the families, more importantly, to the families that want to know what the hell is going on and what happened to their children. especially the victims that have died and have been injured. Wouldn't you? I mean, that's just me, though. I guess that's just me. To think that this is a little strange, and that I would expect them to do everything and then some. Shoot, flip over the entire school upside down to make sure that there's full transparency on what actually went down. Now, the superintendent came out with a statement, but is that good enough? That's just one man's account. That's just one person's account. Is that enough, though? Inquiring minds would like to know. Oxford Community School spokesperson Danielle Stablensky, pardon if I'm sorry, destroyed that one. Stablensky did not immediately respond to a request for comment Monday night. Thorne has worked to address rumors surrounding the shooting Tuesday, which happened hours after the 15-year-old suspect, Ethan Crumbley, met with his parents and school counselors. During the meeting, they discussed a drawing of a drawing a teacher found on the teen's desk that reportedly included a bullet and the words "blood everywhere." In a letter to the community on Saturday, the superintendent said counselors found the youth calm and didn't believe he would harm others. The parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley, were asked to take their son home, but flatly refused. Remember, we talked about this yesterday, right? School officials had wanted him removed until undergoing counseling. Thorne has said Crumbley had not been disciplined before the attack. So remember, we already looked at all this. We already heard all this stuff, right? Flatly refused. Parents flatly refused to send them back. Flatly refused. Because they had to go back to work instead of the well-being of their son, the mental well-being of their son. We had already talked about this piece, right? But the strangest thing to me is that this school said hail to the NAW, to the Attorney General, to Michigan's Attorney General. They said hail to the NAW. Please make that make sense. They're trying to hide something. I mean, that's what I instantly will think. That's what I feel like any person who's watching this from afar, okay? What they're going to instantly think. Something ain't right. Something strange is afoot. First things first, you need to be as transparent as all get out, and they're not even doing that. Strange, right? Nessel has said a probe by her office could determine criminal intent and civil liability, including whether certain school, district, or state policies were violated. The department has statewide jurisdiction, does not need the district's voluntary participation to conduct a review. The Attorney General has said, although its involvement would help produce a much more meaningful investigation. So here's the thing. Excuse me. So here's the thing. They don't have to be cooperative. School don't even need to be cooperative. She can go in there with her team of people, and do whatever the hell she wants as far as investigation into this shooting, all things that led to the shooting and the events that happened during the shooting. She has every right to do whatever she wants. But they're saying it would produce a much more meaningful investigation if they would cooperate. So why wouldn't the school want to cooperate? Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. They're hiding something. They're hiding something, without a shadow of a doubt. So in her statement Monday night, Nessel said her team would continue to support the ongoing criminal investigation in Oakland County and looks forward to meeting with the parents, students, and teachers when they are ready to share their thoughts. To that end, we also remain committed to evaluating opportunities for our department to ensure that students in Oxford and across Michigan receive the protection they deserve and that guns are kept out of our schools. So, as you already see, all she's trying to do is she's just doing the right thing. She's just doing her job. She wants to look into what the hell is going on and see what are the connections. What are the connections here, right? What could have been done to prevent this from happening? What did the staff do? What did the staff not do? Is the guidance counselors that the staff that are involved with this whole shooting, were they properly vetted for the job? Did they know exactly what they should be doing? Were they following certain protocol? Were they following certain procedures to make sure without a shadow of a doubt that kid was okay and that he just straight up fooled them, manipulated the hell out of them, which is a good possibility. I think he finessed them. I straight up think he finessed them, but I think that what should have happened, it's the biggest thing in the superintendent's statement. The biggest mistake happened is after the family flatly declined to take their son back home because they had to go to work. The mistake happened right there. I mean, if anything else, there was an opportunity for this kid to leave, to be gone, to be gone from the damn campus. And what happened? What happened? Parents said, nah, man, we got work to do. That doesn't make sense. What should have happened after that is saying, okay, if you're not taking your son home today, we are giving him suspension or we are giving him expulsion, whatever, because we have zero tolerance on this kind of stuff. And, honestly, he's kind of creeping us out. Whatever the hell it is, he's creeping a whole bunch of kids out. You need to take your son home, whether you like it or not. And then also on top of that, from my understanding, I heard that the pops didn't have a job anymore. I mean, this is hearsay. I don't know if that's actually fully 110% confirmed, but I've been hearing from other people that pops didn't even have a job at the time. So he was home chilling, probably playing Fortnite and COD and stuff. So why couldn't he take his ass home? But still, pops and mamas said, hell to the no, we got things to do, and left him there. And then all hell broke loose. And then the tragedy ensued. Mistake that the school made was they could have said, nope, take your kid out. You have to take him. Sorry, we can't have him here. He's got to go home today. Go. But that didn't happen. So I can see why the school may be being like, nah, we don't want you to investigate this because you might unearth some things that we don't want to have unearthed and all that. But let's keep it real, y'all. Let's keep it straight funky. Something strange is afoot right now, man, with that school. And the fact that they don't want to help out and they don't want to cooperate with the Michigan's Attorney General in their investigation says they got something to hide. That's strange. Let's take a look at this.
Good morning. You can just see behind me the memorial here at Oxford High School for the 4 students, Justin Schilling, Tate Mayer, Hannah St. Juliana, and Madison Baldwin. And the memorial just keeps on growing. And you can see right in the back there a message board with messages for the families and everything like that. But Attorney General Dana Nessel, she's not happy that the Oxford Community Schools has turned down her request to help in this third-party investigation. It went from a normal school day at Oxford High School to a nightmare in just 5 minutes. A tragedy that left 4 students dead. 16-year-old Tate Meir, 17-year-old Madison Baldwin, 14-year-old Hannah St. Juliana, and 17-year-old Justin Schilling. Attorney General Dana Nessel turning up the heat on the Oxford Community Schools after they rejected her office's help.
I'm disappointed, quite honestly. And, obviously we hope that the school district cares as much about the safety of their students as they do shielding themselves from civil liability.
But her office will continue assisting the Oakland County Sheriff's Department and the Oakland County Prosecutor in, quote, any way we can. But what remains are many questions that parents have and that the community of Oxford has. Casey Smith is a father, and his daughter was in the hallway when the shooting started. He appeared on CNN last night, frustrated that 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley was allowed to go back to class after meeting with the school.
I think a lot of us feel that way, angry. Either procedures weren't followed, there's protocols in place that either weren't followed or they weren't in place to begin with. Just clearly, something should have been done, and there was the opportunity to do something that could have prevented this horrific tragedy.
Those questions, Nessel says, would be answered through her investigation, and that families in the Oxford community will be heard.
You know what's interesting to me is that there have been so many opportunities. There's been so many stories of tragedies that have happened over the past little while now, right? With the Astroworld tragedy, these school shootings that do happen over and over again. And it's interesting that a lot of it has to do with protocol. A lot of it has to do with the negligence that's happening within the either the facility or the organization that put together that particular event. It's very interesting how much negligence or failure to tighten up the cracks, let's just say that, so that an incident like this doesn't happen. The fact that there is like the mistakes, that it's just simple little tiny mistakes that turn into something extremely catastrophic, right? And you look at this video or you look at this story here and you see one of them right here where it was it's a simple but extremely devastating mistake that the school made. And I'm not going to throw the school under the bus. This goes to the parents too. I throw it at the parents. I throw it at even law enforcement. I throw it at the school. I throw it at everything. All levels here. But the one thing that does frustrate me is that okay, that's fine. Just let him go back to school. Let him go back to class. Now, if it was just some other kid that was up to no good, just being rambunctious or whatever, and they said go back to school, fine. But this is obviously someone who is mentally disturbed. You have seen it countless times. You see that he's Googling bullets on his phone. He's drawing things. He's doing all this stuff that's violent depictions. And you still, by slipping through the cracks, say, that's fine. Just go back to school. Go back to class. It's fine. Finish out the remainder of the day, and then we'll handle your situation after school's over. Mistake happens when the school decided to let him go. The mistake happens when the parents flatly refuse to take him home because they got works to do. A lot of this has to do with these simple choices, easy choices that could have been made that were not made. It all leads to this unbelievably mind-blowing, jaw-dropping, catastrophic event. All because we could have made a better choice, made the right choice.
We're going to talk to the community. We're going to talk to the parents and the students in Oxford and see what it is that they want to see happen. And I'm sure they're going to make their feelings known about the rejection of our offer.
Now, Ethan Crumbly, James and Jennifer Crumbly, they all remain locked up at the Oakland County Jail. And as for the Oxford Community Schools, they're going to go through a soft reopening. They're also going to be having police officers, guidance counselors, and for the high school, the plan to reopen is, well, it's still evolving. Reporting in Oxford this morning.
Of course, it's still evolving. Of course, it's still evolving. Kids are terrified. I think there's going to be a good portion of the school that's going to sit there, there's a portion of the students that are going to sit there and go, you know what? I just want to go virtual, yo. Can we just do virtual for the rest of the year? I mean, imagine how many kids have to go through any type of counseling now because of this, PTSD, etc. I mean, imagine that, y'all. This whole thing is heartbreaking, for sure. But a lot of this could have been prevented. And now you got the attorney general pissed off. I'm just being real. Now you got the attorney general pissed off. Is that a good choice? Is that a good idea? The state's top law enforcement. I mean, is that the right choice to piss off? You know what I'm saying? Help me out. Help me out. Because it ain't working for me. They are trying to screw their own school up to the point where a lot of heads are going to roll, meaning a lot of people are going to get fired. A lot of people are going to have to step down. They're going to have to revamp the entire school. Parents are going to be suing the school. I guarantee you this. Parents are going to be suing the school. Suing the school. Wait for it. It's coming. You did something like that, you exposed your ass. That ass exposed now, y'all. Does that work for you guys? If you were the parent, keep it real. You were the parent. Suddenly you found out there was a shooting. And then you try to find out the story of what has happened on school grounds. Attorney General comes in, say, hey, we want to do an investigation. We want you to cooperate with us. School district says, nah. What do you think? How do you think the parents are going to feel? Any parent of that high school is going to feel. They're instantly going to look at, oh, they got something to hide. Now the attorney general is going to be doing the attorney general and her department is going to go in and do their own independent investigation against the school's wishes, against their will. As a parent of a student that matriculates at that high school, does that make you feel any better? Does that make you feel warm inside? I'll answer that right now. No, it does not.
been a week since a 15-year-old sophomore gunman opened fire inside Oxford High School out there in Michigan. Well, this morning we are learning new details that the Oxford Community School District is turning down an offer by the state's top prosecutor to conduct a review of what led up to the mass shooting. Instead, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel says the district is choosing a private security firm. So I do want to bring in Fox 2 Detroit's Robin Murdoch. She is out there in Michigan with the very latest on this story. Good morning to you, Robin. What can you tell us? Hard to believe it has already been a week since this situation happened.
Yeah, this is certainly going to be a very difficult day for a lot of people, just kind of rehashing what happened exactly a week ago. As you mentioned, that is when 4 students were killed, 7 others were injured in this mass shooting over at Oxford High School. Now, I can tell you that over the weekend, the superintendent of Oxford schools, he did come out and say that they would be bringing in a third party to investigate the events leading up to that deadly shooting. Almost immediately, the state attorney general said, hey, I can help you guys out. We have the resources to help with that investigation. Well, overnight, we just learned that the Oxford School District, they will be going in a different direction. They are instead going to go with a private security firm. As you mentioned, the attorney general, she is obviously not happy with this decision. She was really looking in.
Hold on. I want to make sure that's abundantly clear. She said, what?
Different direction. They are instead going to go with a private security firm. As
You heard that too, right? Let me run that back just one more time. I'm going to run that back just a little bit further back. I want to make sure that that's clear, completely clear.
The Oxford School District, they will be going in a different direction. They are instead going to go with a private security firm, as you mentioned.
Something strange is afoot. That's all I'm saying. They're, let's see, roll it back. I'm just going to roll it back.
Just learned that the Oxford School District, they will be going in a different direction. They are instead going to go with a private security firm, as you mentioned.
Sorry, I just had to throw that one more time so it goes all the way down. Marinates all the way down to the marrow, okay? Gets down to the bones, okay? Let me just say this. Why do you think that they're hiring their own private team to investigate? You don't think they can just line their pockets a little bit? Hey, here's a couple grand. Just say what you need to say, but keep anything negative about Oxford High out of the conversation. Okay? Actually, here's a script that we need you to memorize. Any talking points, any questions that might pop up, so on and so forth. This is what we need you to say. Okay? Here's an extra check. Okay? Interesting, right? So instead of going, hey, AG, we got you. Come through, bruh. Come on through. We ain't got nothing to hide, man. Come through. Check out our procedures, man. Look at what we do. Look at our protocol. Look how pristine we is. Okay? But no, not that. They said, nope, don't even show up. Don't even show up. Don't even come up to the front door. What we gonna do is we're gonna invite our own people in. You feel me? The third party people that we're paying to investigate our ish. So if we find out any information, yeah, we can actually make sure that those things are redacted. And make sure no information, none of the truth really comes out, because we paying these dudes to do exactly that. Like I said, strange. Strange. Math ain't mathin'. Krista Phillips, extreme case of ma'am. M-A-M. Math ain't mathin'. So now you see it for your own. You're hearing it right now. Like I said, if Oxford High School is trying to be, as safe as they can and say that they care about their students and that they care about all that's going on, this road that they're going down is the wrong road. Absolutely wrong road. But apparently, this is okay with them. I'm telling you, parents are going to be scratching their heads. A lot of kids are going to leave this school. And I'm telling you right now, if there is not full transparency between the school and the public, right, and the world, they are going to be showered with lawsuits. And Oxford High will be no more.
The Attorney General, she is obviously not happy with this decision. She was really looking forward to being able to look into exactly what happened, but also going further, looking into the various policies and procedures and seeing if anything needed to be changed to protect Michigan students in the future. The Attorney General, though, did say that she will continue to support an ongoing criminal investigation into the matter. So she is still staying very close to the situation, that is for sure.
Damn right. You want to know something else too? It's like this, y'all. You don't think you just poked a sleeping bear? Or actually, you just poked a bear that's been woke the F up from a very good slumber. She got time today. That's basically what she's saying. She got time today. You're going to deny the Attorney General, Michigan Attorney General, you're going to deny her request for cooperation. You're going, thank you, but no, we got this. You just woke up a sleeping bear. You just woke up a bear that's hungry. Like I said, she got time today. She just said that. I got time today. And that's exactly what she gonna do. That's exactly what she gonna do. She gonna investigate until something pops up. Wait for it.
Regina.
Yeah, and I think, Robin, like we have been talking about ever since we heard from the prosecutor, I mean, there was a lot of disturbing details that were read last Friday. The fact that the parents were notified, the drawings that were found. So the fact that this was turned down, how does the community feel about this decision?
This just came out overnight. The Attorney General, she started tweeting about this, just before midnight, I think, is when she started giving a response after learning exactly what the Oxford schools were planning to do. So we have not been able to get reaction as of yet, but a lot of people, they will certainly be waking up. They will be learning this. And you can imagine that perhaps some people may be upset with this. They would have liked to have, the state of Michigan further investigating this instead of some private firm. But of course, that was the Oxford School's decision. So we'll just have to wait and see what the findings of that investigation are and see if it does bring anything to light concerning all of this.
You got to do this, though, too. You're going to wait for that private investigating company to do their due diligence, find out any information. But you also got to remember, AG going to be doing her thing too. She's going to be doing her own investigation as well. So now you're going to have to compare both notes. Their evidence versus the AG's evidence to see if they actually go together or if things have been messed with. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, y'all. Now you're going to have to compare notes. Now you're going to have to compare evidence. And that's a headache. Instead of just letting the Attorney General do her job, investigating what she needs to investigate, now you got to look at two of them and see who capping. You got to see who's telling the truth and who's trying to hide stuff. It's unbelievable. By the way, hit that like button down below. I see over 600 souls watching the show right now on all platforms. So if you're watching this on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, hit that like button down below and do me that favor. Hit, destroy, crush that subscribe button if you're on YouTube, that follow button on Twitter, or any of the follow buttons on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. Please follow us, follow my show. It's not us. I'm here. It's just me, singular, one person right now. But follow me, enjoy the show, hit that like button, send those likes past 300 likes. That would really mean a lot, okay? Send them all the way up, all right? But there's some crazy stuff here, right? So you're going to have two different notes, two different pieces of evidence. And we're going to see for ourselves if that private investigating company or team is going to actually be transparent, or if they're going to start burying things and start hiding things before the AG gets her hands on that evidence as well. Who knows? God knows. They're probably trying to hide a whole bunch of stuff right now as we speak. They've had time. School's been closed, right? They might have had time to get rid of some stuff. Just saying.
Absolutely, and we'll definitely keep up with you and your team for any reaction to that. Robin, I do want to ask you, do we have any updates? Yesterday, we learned of a possible person of interest being interviewed by the Oakland County Sheriff's Office because they allegedly may or may not have helped the Crumleys hide from authorities following the announcement of their charges. So what do we know about yesterday's interview?
Well, I know, this interview happened right around 3:00 yesterday afternoon. Investigators with the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, they ended up interviewing a 65-year-old artist who is a family friend of Jennifer and James Crumley. So they are the parents of the alleged 15-year-old shooter in this case. And as you know, over the weekend, the Crumleys, they were found hiding out in a warehouse on Detroit's east side. And it is believed that the artist, that 65-year-old artist, actually helped the Crumleys hide out. So that is why investigators wanted to talk to them yesterday. And they spent a good 2 hours talking to them about what they knew or what he knew and when he knew it. This artist, though, he says that he had no idea that they were wanted by police. He had no idea that they were on the run. He was simply trying to help some of his friends who had been receiving death threats. He wanted to give them a safe place to go. So again, it was a 2-hour interview. From what we understand, investigators ended up going to his home afterwards with a search warrant, and they ended up taking away some phones as well as some tablets that they will be looking over for further evidence in this situation. And then the end result, a report will be sent to the prosecutor's office, and they will decide whether formal charges should happen here against this artist. So this is another situation that is continuing to develop that we will keep an eye on throughout today and throughout the week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we still don't know a whole lot about this Andre Sikora. We don't really know a whole lot about him and what they have found out. He is still sitting here saying, "Oh, I didn't know anything. I'm still in the dark," so on and so forth. We don't know everything as of yet, but hopefully he's gonna speak up. Hopefully he starts saying something, with the quickness. Now, I know I had a few super chats, and Laura Estrada, I tried to find your super chat and it disappeared on me. I'm scrolling back real quick to see if it's well, I do have Miss Will I Am's $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. The police department actually made a statement that was a plainclothes officer that said "bro" at the door. Oh, okay. Interesting. So then that wasn't him. That's very interesting. There it is. Laura Estrada, thank you so much again for the $5 super chat. She says, "Pascal, thank you for just being you. I stand by and support you. News and pop culture done with a compassionate yet fierce heart. Thank you." Well, thank you so much, Laura Estrada. I really do appreciate the $5 super chat. And Seriously, I really do appreciate the comment. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's never a dull moment, y'all. It's never a dull moment up in this piece. So I did find it. Hey, yes. So there you go. You know, when I have this other screen up, it's hard to get those super chats up. So I appreciate your support. Seriously, I really do appreciate it. And thank you again to both of you guys for your super chats and for all the super chats. Let's not forget the other super chats that came in. That really does mean a lot. But yes, we don't know everything as of yet, you know, when it comes to the guy who helped them, the artist that helped them hide out, right? But we already know clear as day that these guys were hiding out, yo. They were hiding out. Clearly hiding out. They ditched their car. They took out $4,000 worth of money out of their ATM account, out of their bank accounts through an ATM. I mean, they did everything they could to try to at least to make it look like they were trying to run. Okay? Just talking about the Crumblies. All right? The Crumblies. All right? So there's the thing. There's that. We don't know what he's saying. All we know is that he is saying, hey, he's just deny. That's all he's doing right now. Real talk. That is all he's doing right now. Outside of that, everything's still kind of up in the air. We still don't know. Okay? We still do not know. Okay? Anytime. Thank you so much, Laura Estrada. It is hard out here for a pimp. Hard out here for a pimp. Okay? So I do appreciate it, okay? But like I said, parents knew something was going on. Let's be real. The parents knew some stuff was going down. Something strange was afoot going on at the house of the Crumblies, okay? The Crumblies' house was strange, I'm sure. Okay? They knew something was up with their son. They knew it. They knew something was up with their son, and they didn't do nothing about it, yo. Okay? Didn't do anything about it. Then when they get brought in to talk about their son and the stuff that he's been doing, and they ask them to take him home, they flat out say no. Opportunities to do the right thing. Many opportunities to do the right thing, and they said no. Flatly refused. Outright refused to take his ass home. But then when there was an active shooter on site, Mama is texting him saying, please don't do this. Or Ethan, don't do this. You have Papa running back home, speeding all the way back home to go and check if the weapon that, for some odd reason, suddenly he remembers, just out of nowhere, he remembers, oh yeah, he's got a firearm. So he goes all the way out of his way to go and check it out. And guess what? Firearm is gone. So then he calls the cops saying, yeah, it's probably my son that's shooting people right now. You know for a fact there were full-on signs at home way before this shooting took place. And the parents did not do anything. And instead of being adults and facing the music, they ditch their car, they withdraw $4,000 from ATM, and they hide out in some artist studio's basement and then deny that they were out on a lam. They deny that they were kicking rocks. Very strange. Very, very strange. But like I said, something strange is afoot. I'll keep it real. Something strange is afoot when it comes to that. Speaking of strange, we got to take a little bit of a left turn. Well, it's a big left turn to something completely different. Yeah, we have got to get into this whole Jussie Smollett testimony, this whole Jussie Smollett case that just went down. And here it is. I don't know if you know anything about the Jussie Smollett case. But Jussie Smollett is an actor from a hit show, or it used to be a hit show called Empire. I think what really happened is he did this crime, and he's being accused of this particular crime, and because of that crime, it kind of screwed up the ratings for Empire, and then Empire just tanked. But that's just my own personal opinion. Here it is. He allegedly staged his own hate crime where he was beaten, bleach was allegedly thrown in his face, and a noose was thrown over his head. Okay? So there have been over the course of this story breaking and all that, there's been new information that has happened over time, or information kept coming out over time, revolving around the fact that he may have staged this whole thing. Now, because of that, he is on trial for doing what he allegedly may have done. So he took the stand yesterday. He was questioned for 5 hours. He was on the stand for 5 hours. And we have a couple, let's just say, key points from his testimony that I thought was kind of interesting. Wild. Okay? So real quick, so that you have a better understanding. He gets allegedly attacked. Cops come in. He says, I was attacked by these men wearing MAGA hats. They were throwing out racist and homophobic slurs towards me. I was assaulted, so on and so forth, right? Later on to find out that he has a personal trainer and a bodyguard that allegedly staged this whole thing with Jussie Smollett. Now, there's this whole thing where a lot of people are still up in the air, whether they believe him, whether they think he lied, so on and so forth. In the very beginning, people were extremely supportive of Jussie because what happened to him is unthinkable, right? And instantly, we are quick to believe the victim, understandably, right? So people were quick to stand by his side, quick to his aid, right? Obviously, information started coming out more, showing that maybe he had lied. Maybe this whole thing was staged. Maybe this was just a very, very poorly executed attempt at trying to catapult his career in a different direction by being a victim. Like I said, weirder things have happened. This is definitely one of those weird things that has happened, okay? I mean, you can't even write this stuff. Actually, they probably have written this stuff, but let's just be real. This is very strange. So, they're in trial right now. The two men, because he said there was two white men that attacked him that were wearing the MAGA hats and all that, threw a noose around his head, all that stuff, right? Only to find out that allegedly it's two black men that personally knew Jussie Smollett. And like I said, there's just some really interesting stuff to take away from this particular testimony that he had. He was on the stand for 5 hours, and he was cross-examined by both sides of the fence. Now, here it is. Here's some of the biggest takeaways from Jussie Smollett's criminal trial. I swear to God, this should be a movie or like a Lifetime made for TV movie type thing, because you can't make this stuff up. You just can't. It's crazy. So let's go into it. All right. So former Empire actor Jussie Smollett testified in his own defense, basically a Hail Mary, just so you know. He jumped onto the stand because he was hoping that he could sway the jury, right? So that he could maybe make this work out in his favor, right? By speaking on his behalf, speaking his truth, whatever the hell that truth is, which, by the way, there's certain things that he did say in this where he admits to lying to the police the day of the incident, all right? The day or the moment after the incident when the cops came up to him. Full on lies that he says. Exposed right here. So, So now this is obviously on day 5 of his criminal trial on charges he faked a hate crime in 2019 to get attention and then lied to the police about it. They say it right there. Okay? Because he did lie. And you'll hear it here in a second. Smollett, 39, is facing 6 felony counts of lying to the police and could be slapped with a sentence up to 3 years behind bars if he's convicted. Under oath, he maintained his innocence Monday and testified there was no hoax. And the hate crime he suffered was real and was carried out by these 2 brothers, Abimbola and Olabinjo. I don't know how to say that last name, so I'm not going to try it. Okay? Here are 6 takeaways from his testimony. Hold on one second. Did I see something just pop up? Okay, I'm on crack. Okay. Smollett said he kept a noose around his neck, because his creative director told him to. Yeah. So when police arrived at Smollett's home about an hour after the alleged attack, the actor was captured on body cam footage, still wearing a rope-like noose around his neck, and told the cops, "I just wanted you to see it." On Monday, he testified that he had taken the rope off after he had gotten back to his apartment and put it back on after his creative director, Frank Gaston, told him to. Why would you keep it on? Why would I keep it on? Smollett said when asked why he took off the rope. Frank told me to put the stuff back on to not mess with the evidence. I guess that makes sense, right? Don't touch anything. Maybe they can grab something from it. God knows what, right? Smollett said he didn't want to call the police because he doesn't trust cops and didn't want to look weak. Sorry. Let me repeat that again because I just sorry. Smollett said he didn't want to call the cops because he doesn't trust the cops and he didn't want to look weak. The actor testified he would have never called the police after the incident because he's a black man in America and I don't trust police. He also said, as an ambitious actor, he hesitated over how it would impact his career. Right. I want to play a boxer. I want to play a superhero. I want to blow stuff up. Smollett testified. The moment I got beat, I became a F word who got ass whooped. Here's the body cam footage where literally there's a still of the body cam footage where literally he has the noose around his neck. This thin ass noose. I mean, you can still do damage. I'm not trying to say anything, but look, I mean, it's like he ran to us, in my personal opinion, he ran to a store, found some yarn and put it around his neck. I'm sorry. I hate to say it like that, but real talk, the dude is guilty. Guilty as charged. All right. Actually, I just saw somebody say, do a poll, please. Okay. You know what? I am going to do a poll. Boom. I just put up a poll. It's very simple. It's at the top. It'll say, do you think Jussie Smollett staged his own crime? All right. Yes or no. So let the polling begin. Okay. So there you go. There you have it right here. All right. Now, the actor claims CNN host. This is the biggest thing right here because remember what I just talked about. I did a random live in my car because it was breaking news about Chris Cuomo being excommunicato, okay, from CNN. Excommunicato. Axed. Fired from CNN. Now, this is very interesting Don Lemon is being thrown under the bus now by Jussie Smollett. All right. The actor claims CNN host Don Lemon told him Chicago cops didn't believe his story. So during his testimony, and apparently Don Lemon's getting in some sort of trouble for making that statement to Jussie Smollett. All right. During his testimony, Smollett said that he had received a text message from Lemon saying the CNN host had gotten a text from Chicago police saying they didn't believe the actor's story, which is why Smollett was uneasy about turning over his phone records to investigators. There's the alleged noose. Now here's the thing though. Let me so he was worried about turning over his phone records because of a text message from Don Lemon. Like, they're not going to care if you live some lavish lifestyle where you bury your nose in an amount of cocaine. They already assume that, right? They already assume that you live that lavish lifestyle. They already assume that you live that kind of lifestyle already. What they're looking into is trying to find out the information, if there's anything that could lead to the truth of what actually happened to you. That's why they're looking through your stuff. But for some odd reason, he feels strange about giving away his cell phone. Why? You don't think that maybe Abimbola or the other brother, the brothers that were involved with this, allegedly were involved with this staged thing, this staged event? You don't think that you weren't having conversations with these dudes via text message? Like I said, like, this is the same thing. Isn't it funny? This is a whole other story about transparency. You got a whole high school sitting here saying no to the attorney general right now. Oxford High is saying no to the attorney general. And then you look over, you're going, wait a second, there should be some transparency, full transparency between the attorney general and the high school, yet they're not giving it to him. Now, you have someone like Jussie Smollett. They're asking for a cell phone. They're not trying to do anything except find out what happened. And he's not willing to give them his cell phone. No transparency whatsoever. What the hell? See, like, I feel like that's a dead giveaway every single time. Dude instead lawyers up, or when a person goes missing, he just lawyers up, refuses to make a comment, refuses to cooperate. That's a dead giveaway. You just know what I'm saying? Like, all these roads that have been, like, all these roads go down this thing of, like, him guilty as hell. But he refused to give out his phone records and his phone so that they can see what the hell is going on. And I mean, look at this. Does that even look like a properly tied up noose to begin with? I hate to say that, but it almost looks like he just kind of wrapped it up and then threw it over his neck and said, noose. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but that looks like that's terrible. Look at that. Look at it. Okay. So let's move on. Holy God. Smollett claims he had a sexual relationship with one of the brothers. So Abimbola, who alleges the actor paid him to fake beat him up, had a sexual relationship with Smollett, he testified. The actor said that the two did drugs together, made out, and masturbated each other at a gay bathhouse in Chicago's Boys Town neighborhood. Last week, Abimbola said under oath that he is heterosexual and did not masturbate with Jussie at the bathhouse, but did admit he had gone to a location with him on at least one occasion. Okay. It goes down in the bathhouse. So this is Abimbola right here. So he is saying that he is not gay. He is straight. I'm sorry. I'm not. This is just too funny to me. This is just a cluster F of a story. So now you got hearsay. You got he said. And I don't care if, I personally, I don't care if you know what I'm saying? I don't care what you do behind closed doors as long as it's consensual and as long as it's safe, right? As long as there's a safe word, right? Pineapples or something, right? But for you to... Smollett says that he had a sexual relationship with Abimbola. Abimbola says he did not have a sexual relationship with Jussie Smollett. But he did go to a location. But he did admit going to a location with him at least on one occasion, at least one occasion. So he went to a bathhouse with Jussie, but there was no, there was no fiddling about. Let's just say that. Nobody was stroking. You know what I mean? Okay. Like I said, this is just so ridiculous. This case, this trial is just ridiculous. And it's a cluster F. So you got this guy who Jussie allegedly paid him to come over and beat him up to stage this whole crime, this whole hate crime, is saying, no, there was no sexual relationship between him and Jussie. No, they did not, in a bathhouse or none of that. Okay? None of that. So Abimbola is saying that he is complete innocent in this situation, except for the fact that he got paid to try to beat him up. Not beat that ass, though. Sorry, I'm 12 years old. All right. Police said Smollett staged the hoax because he was upset about his salary. This is how much he was making. So the actor testified that when he was hired on Empire in 2014, he was paid roughly $27,000 to $28,000 per episode for a 10-episode season. Okay, so when he first started, he was making a lot of money. Okay, sorry, that just angers me. That makes me so mad in my heart. $27,000 for an episode. Okay, I mean, I know that like other people make millions an episode, but still, damn, that's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money. Oh, okay. His pay was bumped up modestly at the end of the second season, but after the series' success, he renegotiated his contract and was pulling in $80,000 per episode by season 3, $90,000 by season 4, and $100,000 by season 5 when he was fired. Each season after the first was 18 episodes long. So think about that. Before he got fired, he was tipping off at $100,000. 18 episodes. That's a whole lot of quiche, y'all. But he was upset about his salary. What in the hell? So, Smollett is a pothead. I don't know why that even matters, but okay. The actor regularly smokes blunts, which he rolls in Swisher Sweet brand cigar. Why does this even matter that he smokes weed? Maybe it made him dumber. Sure. Maybe it made him dumber making this choice. Like maybe it was THC induced, this idea of like, maybe I'm going to set up my own hate crime. Yeah, man, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stage my own. Hey, pass it over, man. My own hate crime, and that's going to skyrocket my career. Next thing you know, I'm going to be the Black Tom Cruise. Yeah. Yeah. That's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? So what? He smokes weed. I don't care. But he is a pothead. So, as an actor on Empire, he said he routinely smoked a blunt around lunchtime and would drive around the neighborhood where the studio was located. He also said he routinely drove around in his car alone, smoking up as part of his creative process as a singer, and songwriter. Woo! So those are the pieces that we can get away from this so far. We do have a video. I'm going to show it to you guys as well, but still, like, so he's a pothead. Okay. He smokes hella blunts. Okay. He's Snoop Dogg up in this piece. Okay. Fine. He's Snoop Dogg. Cool. But he has said he's going and chilling with the dude, and those dudes were his personal trainers, aka and also security as well. One of the other brothers was was part of his bodyguard detail, his security detail, and all that. So, okay, from my understanding, dude was in a alleged love affair with his personal trainer. And then this is what they're trying to say, that Jussie wanted to move on. There was another guy he wanted to be with. Abimbola did not like that so much. This is what they're trying to put out here. This is what he tried to put out here during his testimony, that this was all fueled by jealousy. Jussie. Like I said, so now they're saying he's upset about, like, Abimbola was upset, right? Allegedly. Because, of course, he's denying all these claims. He's saying, no, that didn't happen. Yes, I went to a bathhouse one time, but other than that, I ain't into that kind of stuff. I'm hetero. Yet, Jussie Smollett is saying they had a full-on love affair. That they would smoke weed and do cocaine and do all kinds of stuff and have a great time and go off and do some dirty stuff behind closed doors. Actually, not behind. I mean, isn't the bathhouse kind of open? Isn't that what in the movies I've seen like those bathhouses, like in fight movies and stuff, they'll walk in and it's like a Greek bathhouse and just a whole bunch of naked people. That's the kind of way I look at it. Right? Isn't it like that, or is it all closed off? Somebody tell me in the comments. Is it wide open? Is it an open layout? the bathhouse. I'm just curious. Okay. I'm so done right now. Oh, okay. Let's look at this video.
Empire actor Jussie Smollett returns to the stand today after testifying against claims he staged a hate attack on himself. Smollett calls those accusations, quote, 100% false. Kelsey Kernstein is here with more details on Smollett's adamant denial.
Well, Adrian, legal experts say because there were no other witnesses at the alleged attack, that Jussie Smollett had to take the stand for himself. That was his only chance to avoid conviction. On the stand, Smollett also countered against one of the prosecution's star witness about a possible sexual relationship.
The jury tasked with deciding actor Jussie Smollett's fate had a chance to hear from the defendant himself. On Monday, Smollett testified he did not plot a hoax hate crime with the Osendero brothers, and instead is the victim of a violent crime. Then the actor told the court he took drugs with the brothers and performed sex acts with older brother Abimbola. In a testimony last week, Abimbola denied he had a sexual relationship with Smollett. Smollett also attempted to debunk the brothers' testimony about a staged attack, claiming he hired them to create a workout and nutrition plan for him. To justify the text message and $3,500 check he gave to the brothers, which jurors saw in court last week, During cross-examination, Special Prosecutor Dan Webb asked Smollett why he was hesitant to turn over his phone and medical records and focused extensively on a message Smollett sent to Abimbola saying, quote, might need your help on the low. Judge James Lynn wrapped up the day before Webb could conclude his questioning. Smollett's brother Jojo joined News Nation last night saying he believes his brother's testimony tells the truth of what led up to the alleged attack in January of 2019.
Real quick. Okay. Okay. All this was going on the low. Everything was going on the DL. Real talk. All of this. Their alleged relationship, all the stuff that went down. I'm just gonna say it was on the DL. So clearly, Abimbola was not out. Let's just say that. If there was an actual relationship, sexual relationship between Smollett and Abimbola, all of this was most definitely on the low, on the DL, right? There's footage of them picking up items. They're out here saying, hey, we were a part of this. We did this. Jussie Smollett is saying, no, that did not happen at all. That's not the truth at all. Also, in his testimony, he did say that he does deny. He does take back the story or that detail that these guys that attacked him were wearing MAGA hats. So what he said to the cops after the event that happened, right after the event, he said, 2 guys wearing MAGA hats were slinging out racial slurs in my face. All this crazy stuff happened to me. And I also got a noose around my neck. And then today or yesterday when he's on the stand, he says, no, that's one piece that wasn't true. But everything else is true. He's still sticking to his story. Still. Let's go.
I think that the courage that he shows in his testimony is actually the truth. And in that we see the evidence, and in that we see the truth. And, you know, it negates all the mistruths that have been spewed out through the social media and the mass media, unfortunately, over the past almost 3 years.
You know, I feel really bad for any brother or sibling that has to deal with this whole story, this whole situation, because I feel like he is like his brother, even his brother that you just saw right there. That's his brother. I feel like he is obligated to take his brother's side because I'm sorry. I mean, it's blood. I get it. But at the same time, I could not believe him. You got one story that's been all over the place. He went and got interviewed by Gail, if I'm correct, had a full-on thing, teary-eyed, tears streaming down his face, recanting his story of what happened to him and all that. MAGA hat wearing dudes that were going after him and throwing out homophobic and racial slurs in his face. But then the story changes. Then there's 2 dudes, but they're not even MAGA hat wearing dudes. They're 2 black men. They're not white. I mean, they could have been 2 black men wearing MAGA hats, but at the same time, none of that happened. They were a personal trainer and a bodyguard and a possible ex-lover that were helping him stage this whole thing. Then on top of that, the jury watches a dry run video where they were doing a dry rehearsal. Like they were, like I said, they were staging this hate crime. They were doing dress rehearsal before the big show, before opening night. And of course, the brother's sitting there going, oh, I believe him. His testimony was the truth and all that. How are we supposed to know what is the truth and what is not? And of course, you know, you got Abimbola who's going to sit here and deny. crazy. All because he was upset that he was making what, close to $2 million a season because he wanted more money. And he thought that maybe this is going to catapult his career to be in big movies and or maybe the lead in his own show, because it'll be a whole pity vibe going on. Like, oh, he's a survivor and we need to, you see what I'm saying? Suddenly he has a book that comes out, so on and so forth. I mean, come on now.
Smollett's cross-examination will pick back up today, and the defense will have a chance to call any other witnesses to the stand. The jury is expected to begin deliberation on Wednesday.
And Smollett is facing 6 counts of felony disorderly conduct, and he faces up to 3 years in prison if convicted. But many experts think that Smollett may not serve that time, but most likely will get probation as well as community service.
This story is still very tangled.
We're expecting a verdict by the end of this week.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I mean, if he gets 3 years, yeah, he probably will be serving probation, and that's going to be all it is. But let's keep it straight funky. He probably won't see the inside of a cell. But I'll tell you this, though. His career is over. He's going to be one of those actors that's going to come out with, on and do some random B-roll movies. No, not even B-roll, like more like D-roll movies, straight to stream movies, like, straight to Netflix that barely gets any type of attention, but he's just kind of like a cameo type thing, make a couple $1,000 for showing up and doing X, Y, and Z. But his career is over. And if anybody tries to hire him for any job is an idiot, you're basically putting on your own scarlet letter for yourself. Why would anyone want to support any person? Why would anybody want to support any person like this? Too many loopholes, y'all. Way too many loopholes. This man is clearly lying. Clearly lying. I think that there's half truths and half lies going on throughout his whole entire testimony. Sure, I believe that he had a sexual relationship with this guy, with Abimbola. I'm sure that it was a crazy love affair. You know what I'm saying? Could be a hip-hop version of Brokeback Mountain up in this piece. We don't know. We really don't know. But I will say this. What's really sad about this whole situation is that no one's going to believe him anytime he says anything anymore. Anymore. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame, and he's an idiot for doing any of the stuff that he did. And here's the thing. For any person that thinks that he didn't do it, I don't know what to tell you. All signs are going down one way. And there's nothing we can really mess around with this. There's just so much that's going on here that it's hard to just fully take him seriously. His career is over. His career is over. His career is absolutely over. So whether he does 3 years or if he does probation, he's going to be locked. He's going to be personally locked up for good. Professionally locked up. No one's going to want to touch him. No one's going to want to work with him. Black Hollywood is not going to want to work with him, period. Because he made a lot of people look like fools. Every single actor from the Empire cast was putting out posts being like, hey, we stand with him in solidarity. We're with him. God forbid this would ever happen to any other black man, so on and so on and so forth. And you know what I mean? And then next thing you know, as the truth comes out, it's like, yo, I'm done. I'm stepping back. You don't hear anybody say anything else anymore about it. I've said it. I've said this phrase a million times, and I'll say it today. Jussie Smollett done mucked up. He mucked up his entire career. Entire career is destroyed. Period. Of anything else. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, I do have another piece. This is something a little bit left, but hey, I see the poll. Let's look at this poll. Wow. So out of 225 votes so far, I asked you guys, do you think Jussie Smollett staged his own crime? 96% of you guys said yes. 4% said no. I'm just curious. Who is this 4% that would sit here and say, nah, you know, he didn't do nothing. He did no wrong, bruh. He did no wrong. He didn't stage his own crime. Somebody else staged this ish. Some people are saying the way that Jussie Smollett is going on in his testimony, he's making it seem like his lover, Abimbola, alleged lover, was upset about him trying to move on. That he wanted to move on. He wanted to go on to greener pastures. All right. Abimbola was very upset about this. And then they staged their own. They conducted their own hate crime and try to make it look like a hate crime against Jussie Smollett. Because you know what? Jussie is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he has no other choice but to jump down that route. Right? So he's going, well, wait a second. I've had 2 years to come up with this story. This will be a good one. Here's a nice little twist. Yes, we were lovers and we did all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. He was upset. So I guess it was him. But I had no hand. I had no part in conducting this crime on myself. Abimbola and his brother did all this stuff because they were upset and they were jealous, or he was jealous. But then explain the $3,500. Explain the text message like I need your help on the low. Unless that's code for something else. Maybe that's a little love making. Real talk. You never know. You never know. All right. But there is something else that is breaking right now as we speak. As of the past hour, I feel like I should pull it up because, we've covered this guy we've covered this particular individual a bunch, and it is breaking right now as of like the last, I'm not kidding, the last, man, it's breaking hard. Like the last 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes or so. So I figured I'd throw this up and show this to you guys because this is heartbreaking. Some bad news on the Nick Cannon front. This just broke. So you're seeing it exclusively right here on the Pascal Show. Right here, you see right here, Nick Cannon shares that his youngest son, Zen Cannon, has passed away. What the hell? So it says here on Tuesday, Nick shared on his talk show that their son, Zen Cannon, has unfortunately passed away. Nick shared that he passed on Sunday due to a form of brain cancer. He shared the unfortunate news with his audience and opened up about what he and his family are currently going through. We are keeping Nick, Elisa, and their family lifted in prayer during this difficult time. Now, you already know that Nick Cannon has multiple children from multiple baby mamas. But this is some terrible news. Let's take a look at this.
And I didn't want to make it about any pageantry or any of that type of stuff. So I kind of went back and forth for what I should do. But I felt like, I was always talking about, you don't just go through it, you grow through it, you keep pushing, you know what I mean? And I have so much faith in the Lord. I have so much faith in God. And I never, people were often telling me I should pray for miracles. And I did pray for the miracle. I prayed for the miracle of God's strength. And that's why I'm here with you guys today, because I know, he puts the most and heaviest weight on the shoulders of his strongest soldiers. So I'm here to show that I can fight through this. I'm feeling it. I'm vulnerable. I'm open. Y'all, but I'm going to make it through. And this is a special show dedicated to my beautiful son, Z.
Hey, you slept pretty good. Did you have lots of dreams? What were you dreaming about? Hey, you slept pretty good. Did you have lots of
Oh, that's sad. I mean, what Nick Cannon says here is true. It's praying for that miracle, right? The miracle, the strength to get through those tough times when you do lose somebody that you love, somebody that you hold near and dear to your heart. And when it comes to this, I mean, my condolences go to Nick and his family and all that. I can only imagine what kind of pain he's going through. The fact that we're finding out on a Tuesday rather than Sunday says a lot too. They kept this whole situation, this devastating news under wraps for pretty well, to be really, really honest. But the one thing any parent doesn't want is to bury their own child, right? Your child should be burying you. It should never be the other way around. So what he's going through, his feelings and all that, I can only imagine. But I mean, the kid was very, very young. Just an infant, just a baby. So, I want to say my condolences to Nick Cannon. I know we talk about all the baby mamas and all that stuff, and we have it is quite a discussion to have, right? To talk about the fact that he's got like several babies and several baby mamas and all that. But to lose a child seriously is devastating and is something that you don't ever want to experience ever, It sucks that child did not have a fighting chance, right? A chance to really grow up and experience what life is and how beautiful life really is, right? So I hope that Zen Cannon rests in heaven. Real talk. And that's terrible news. Terrible news. And I pray for Nick Cannon too and his family that they push through and they always keep Zen Cannon in their hearts from this point on. But anyway, guys, that is the show today. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who came on today. I really do appreciate it. I know I came on a little bit later than usual, and I apologize for that. Like I said, I overslept. Had a hard time sleeping last night. I'm going to be real. Had a hard time sleeping last night. So I'm running on just a few hours right now. But I'm glad I came on to chop it up with you guys, to talk about all this stuff that's going on, because there's plenty to talk about. Plenty. But I appreciate you guys hitting up that poll, letting me know what you guys think. We're at 96% still. It was kind of wavering between, but still 96% of you guys think that Jussie Smollett staged his own crime. I'm with you on that. 110%, right? 110%. I really do think he staged all of that ish his damn self. Okay. So the thing is man, I will be on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's only about a little over 7 hours away from now. We will be talking about the Kathleen Moore story. Now, here's the thing, though. If something else is popping off in the next 7 hours and it's a big breaking story, I might not talk about that Kathleen Moore story. I might be covering that breaking news story. So just letting you guys know, okay? Just letting you guys know. So you're not like heavily disappointed if you see a different title this evening, all right? But do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. That would really, really mean a lot. I love the fact that we went way past 300 likes. That really does mean a lot. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are marching towards 50,000 subscribers. 50K. Can you believe that? I'm very excited about that, y'all. I'm very excited about it. We're almost there. Okay? So, most definitely. Oh, and Dory, yeah, there is the Emmett Till story too, which is insane. We will talk about that. Like I said, there's so many stories to cover. I still need to cover the Ghislaine Maxwell story. See what I'm saying? I'm trying to do a little bit of the Jussie. You see what I'm saying? Do the Jussie. That sounds like a dance. Anyway, it just should be him with a fake noose and never mind. Anyway, moving on. Oh boy. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys for being on. You guys are incredible. There's a lot to talk about. There's so many stories to cover. We will be covering them bit by bit, okay? Story by story, live by live, or pop-up by pop-up. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. All right? Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur